What's up? Got a no heat. Just pulled the kit cover off and the combustion motor started running. Now immediately, you can already tell what we got going on. HSI ain't glowing. Yeah, it's not even hot really. Yeah, it's gone. Gotta replace that. Luckily there's a spare gasket. That's cool. So yeah, I'm gonna grab a HSI and see if this thing will fire up. I can smell the gas, so it's not a frozen up regulator. The gas valve is opening. Combustion motor runs. And yeah. Alright. Okay, so yep, one last check before we replace it. Getting the 120, well, 130. So all the way to the plug. Not heating up. Ran it into test with my resistance box, 10K ohm. Instructions are on the cover if you ever work on one of these. But yeah, I'm keeping that spare gasket in here actually. So yeah. Whew, definitely smell that gas. Heat fail. Try again. Got nothing. Alright, so new HSI is in there. Put NSCs on the threads. You're gonna want that because they rust out. You put too much torque on them when they're rusted, they just kind of free spin and you got to replace the whole heating plate. So want to avoid that. Turning this back on again. I already checked my gas pressure, so let's see. Give this time to boot up real quick. Give it about 10 seconds. Alright. Alright, we got the combustion motor going. We're pulling about 3.6 amps and climbing. Well, settling back off. But we weren't getting before, which is what I was looking for, was that glow through that sight glass. So yeah, just wait for it. Usually takes a good bit, about 40-45 seconds. Gives it a chance to pre-purge so we don't explode the heat exchanger. That's if there was leftover gas. Yep, we're ignited. So now when it's ignited, this will switch over to a flame sensor, and on the board you can test across these pins, get your flame sense microamps. So now we're ignited again. Yeah, I do got negative 0.2 for the gas pressure. A lot of people don't understand that. This is a negative gas pressure valve. This combustion motor pulls in gas out of the valve when the solenoid is open. So without that going, you won't have any flow even if you had 24 volts of that valve. So that's how that is. So when you have your manometer hooked up here, when that first runs, you should be around -2. And then once when it ignites, you should be around negative 0.2. Whew. Yeah, we're heating good. Yeah. Whew. So we're good here now. Everything's happy. I'll demonstrate that heat or the flame signal real quick. Alright, so yeah, we're ignited. Nice beautiful flame. we're hooked up to our flame check. Notice on here it says 1 volt equals 1 microamp. So we have our meter on. Actually, this would be a lot easier to see. No, maybe that's not. So we have about 8. It says negative because I have my polarity wrong, but whatever. It's 8. Take the absolute value of it. So that's good. So it's just an HSI failure. Yeah, this one's seeing the ghost. You can see that. Yeah. No bueno on that one. So for this, I guess we'll do a rundown real quick of how these work. So on a call for heat, your board will send power from this transformer to your combustion motor. And I'll also send power to your HSI. So it'll do a pre-purge of 45 seconds or so, and then it'll open up your valve. And then while that happens, this will actually switch over to a flame sensor. The little relay in this board will switch the voltage coming from the transformer to the board voltage to check for proof of flame. If there's a proof of flame, it'll keep the ignition going. If there's not, it'll shut that valve and it'll retry. I think it'll retry 2 more times, and if it doesn't successfully ignite, it's gonna lock out for an hour. And then it'll try again. So you can reset that lockout by obviously cycling the power or taking away your call for heat and giving it back. Or I guess you could undo your control voltage. It's the same thing as cycling your power, de-energizing your board, blah blah blah. So after the proven flame, it'll continue running until your call for heat is satisfied. Gas valve will shut. This will do a post-purge. Well, at least it's supposed to anyways. If yours doesn't, you have problems. But then again, it's not really a big problem. You always have that pre-purge. So that's basically really how that goes. This is a 2-stage or 2-speed fan. You have 4 leads. Your single speed fan will have this 2. I think it's the purple and black wire, but I'm not sure. So yeah, we're good here. I already checked the gas pressure, like I said, it's at -0.2. So we're good. The only thing was a HSI was dead, which is fine. So we're gonna cycle this off. Take my little guy off here. This thing's handy, especially when you have these trains with these test function. You need a certain ohm to skip to your thing, so you don't have to run the compressors for a second. But this is a bad way to do this, actually. But whatever, it'll be all right. That fan's gonna turn back on, so it's not a huge deal, just as long as this thing hurries up. That little light on there is not doing very super great, but whatever. So yep, so that's the heat on Voyagers. Pretty simple. So alright, see you later.